Hey Vegas, welcome back to Vegas Realty Check. This week's episode is Real Estate Hall of Shame. We're going to get into some cringe-worthy listings and things that are going to make your jaws drop and laugh hilariously. So today's show is going to be a very light and fun-packed show. We're looking forward to it, as well as market numbers, news updates, and everything we bring you here weekly on Vegas Realty Check. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Let's get into our market numbers and what's shaping the Las Vegas real estate landscape. Good morning, Courtney.
Good morning.
Yes. So this week for our market numbers, we have inventory for condos and single-family homes have stayed pretty much the same as where they were last week. We're at 5,501 in single-family homes on the market, which is up 163.
And then we have 2,201 condos or townhomes, which is up about 46.
Yep. 106 more listings this week than there were last week. Those are at 1,223 price decreases.
We're seeing a little bit, 921. So people are coming down. They're eager to sell. Typically springtime, it seems like things start moving a little bit more.
Yeah. And then that's only 39 less than the week before. So not a big jump there, even though it is kind of a big number of price adjustments. But
absolutely,
that's to be said with this market. What I did notice is under contracts and sales, those are the actual deals that happen. Those are down substantially. Under contract is at 542, which is 409 less than last week.
And I can't say for certain, but I have an idea that it might have something to do with a lot of the stuff that's going on. If you watch the news, you kind of know what's going on. And I think it kind of scared some people into just holding steady right now, which we'll kind of circle back to.
Yeah, with what's going on with tariffs, the stock market and all that stuff has a lot of people on the edge, and we're seeing it actually in the numbers, which is unfortunate, but we'll see how it all plans out or plays out. Solds were down also. They were down 413 at 494. So those numbers dropped almost in half, which was not exciting news to see.
No. And like I said, we're circling back if we go into talking about mortgage rates. So the market has been all over the place in the last 5-7 days. So you've definitely seen that impact in mortgage rates as well. Because the stock market took virtually a crash, it also affected the bond market. So we were in the mid sixes on conventional loans, high fives on FHAs. Even just 10 days ago, and it went all the way. We hit up to 7% again, which we haven't seen since about February 18th. So we're going to wait and see what happens the next couple of days. Now that there's a 90-day pause, I think that will definitely show in the rates and the volatility in the market and hopefully start trickling back down. I think that has a lot to do with the steadiness in the real estate market as well as the mortgage rates. So we will keep you up to date on that.
Yes, absolutely. And I know I spoke with you last week on someone that was trying to rate match a rate that he locked in 2 weeks ago. And 2 weeks ago was a lot better than it was looking this week.
Oh, yeah. He's absolutely lucky he stayed there.
Yes, absolutely. All right. And then do you have any loan program updates or news for us in regards to that?
Yeah. So as far as this week, I'm going to cover 10 steps on buying a house.
Okay.
But today I'm only going to do the first 5. And next week, stay tuned, I'll do the other 5.
I love it.
So the first thing is you want to save for a down payment and closing costs.
Absolutely.
Your average closing costs, there's definitely a range, but they say on average about 2 to 6%.
Yeah.
So it can really range based on the state you're in, the closing, the title costs, and all of that. So I always tell people around 3.5%. So whatever your down payment is plus your 3.5%, 4%, you always want to keep and start saving towards and kind of know your budget.
Okay.
And based on what you're trying to do, if you're trying to get rid of PMI or mortgage insurance, you want to have at least 20%.
Okay. All right. So save for your down payment.
Absolutely. And then the next step is you want to check your credit.
Yes.
So you don't always have to do a hard pull. If you want to contact me, we can look at doing a soft pull so we can peek into your credit before we do a hard pull, depending on your time frame and when you're trying to get a house.
Okay. Yeah, definitely got to know where that credit's lying.
Very, very important. The third step is you need to get approved, so you need to call me.
Yes.
Or call somebody, but preferably me.
Call Courtney.
Yeah, call me. You want to know your range and what you can shop for.
Okay. Yeah.
And step 4, find an amazing realtor like Trish. And Trish.
Happy to help. Yes, happy to help. Call me. Step 4, call me.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to make sure it's someone who has a lot of experience.
Yeah, knows what you're doing when you're out there negotiating, shopping, can help walk you through everything.
Absolutely. And step 5 is start looking for a home, the most exciting part.
Shopping.
Yep. So what's your average amount of homes you typically show someone?
I would say 5 to 10, but I do really well at buyer's consultations to really narrow down what they're looking for. So we're not doing this because shopping for homes, while it seems fun in the beginning, it gets really exhausting.
Absolutely.
And it gets to a point where you forget what you saw. And it can really drain somebody. So we want to narrow down in the beginning, know what we're going for, what we're looking for, what location, what amenities, what it is that you need. That way, at the time you're shopping, you're really at the point of just picking out your perfect home.
Absolutely. Try to narrow that down. I totally agree.
Yeah. Yeah. And so those are great tips. Thank you for sharing those.
Absolutely.
We have a little bit of news this week. So there was a New York-based hedge fund that they had found. Review Journal and Brightham News had reported this. This New York hedge fund owns 15% of the homes in Clark County and up to 25% in North Las Vegas.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Lots of homes to be held by an investor. So current records say they own about 3,190 homes. And the lead center of real estate, which is it's based out of UNLV, they say that they're the ones that have reported that they own about 15% of Las Vegas and almost 25% in North Las Vegas.
And I think that trickles back to when people say we're waiting for the rates to come down. When the rates come down, this is who you're competing against.
Absolutely. And what are they doing with all these homes that they own? Well, they're not living in them. Surprise, surprise. They have 180 condos and single-family residences available for rent in the ranges from $1,605 to $3,750 per month. So rent prices are not going down, guys.
No, they're definitely not. And like I said, the second these rates come down, these type of hedge funds, these type of investors, they buy. So unless you can compete with them, come in all cash. I always advise start looking now, find your house, and you can always refinance later.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that just brings us back to real estate's a great investor and they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Absolutely.
So are you guys ready to cringe and laugh? In our next segment, we're bringing you the Real Estate Hall of Shame. So stay tuned.
Hey Vegas! Celebrate every day in style at the Composer's Room. From live music to comedy shows, we've got entertainment that'll give you that Las Vegas vibe. Our tavern serves the best drinks in Vegas. Whether you're a cocktail connoisseur or a beer buff, our bartenders got you covered. And let's not forget about the food. Our culinary delights are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Come for the entertainment and stay for the food. Reserve your visit to the Composer's Room today and start celebrating Las Vegas our way.
Welcome back, Vegas. We are bringing you now the Real Estate Hall of Shame. These are some homes that me and Courtney picked out personally and handpicked as just bizarre listings in general, or some of them have already sold or been on the market previously. So just a handful of homes that we just thought were worthy enough to talk about and enter into our Hall of Shame.
Or it could be the Hall of Fame for somebody.
Yeah,
right?
for somebody. If you're watching the show live, we're going to have some slides to show you what we're talking about. And our number one Hall of Fame house, we are naming as the Penis House.
Actually, that is what it's known
That's what it's known as. Okay.
Now,
right.
the actual address, though, it's 5150 South Pecos.
Okay.
So it was known as the Penis on Pecos. Literally, that's what it was called. So for years, if you've been in this town, like, I don't know if you've heard of it before, but I've heard about it for years.
Yeah.
And so when you used to drive down Pecos, even I was like maybe 14, 15, like you could see the house.
Wow.
And so if you lived in that area, you've heard of it.
Yeah. If you're watching on the screen, we have the overview of that house. And yeah, it does resemble a large penis. Was that, I mean, I just wonder if that like was intentional when they built it or it was an accident. Like, how did this happen?
So rumor has it that in the 70s, a porn star moved in there and had it designed intentionally that way.
Oh, wow.
So there was a bunch of news articles that actually started digging into this story. And it turns out the original owners, who I guess their last name's the Elgers, they said they just designed the house and they liked the design and they actually never thought it looked like a penis until people used to start saying it looked like a penis.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely a design fail or win, depends on what you're going for.
Absolutely. So when they originally bought the house, and they actually currently now live about 2 blocks away from this house, but they said they had no idea that that's what the original design was gonna, or what people thought it was gonna look like. And so it turns out, even though everyone years ago used to say that it was a porn star who made it, I guess that is not the case. They had no idea or intention of doing that. However, throughout the years after it was sold, it became many different businesses that had nothing to do with the theme or what it looked like.
Okay. All right.
Now, it is actually a lifestyle party house.
Well, who'd have thought?
So now it goes with the theme.
Absolutely. It's back to its roots. Well,
literally.
That's great. Our number 2 house in the Hall of Shame, where I couldn't think of a name other than the Wild Paint House. This is not a house on the market. This is a house that I was driving down the street and I said, what in the hell happened there?
This is a house.
It looks like it's been vandalized or graffitied. But when you take a closer look, someone had to get ladders or scaffolds and actually take some time and effort to do what has been done to this house.
So this was the owner of the house who did this?
I do not know if it's owner occupied or tenant occupied, but obviously I have spoken with some of the neighbors. They said that the person that lives in this home is very odd and will stand outside in costume occasionally with a hose and let water run.
So this is intentional.
I believe this is intentional because, again, even the roof is painted.
It'd be one thing if it was like, you know, those graffiti artists that make those beautiful murals like everywhere. This is absolutely not that.
I mean, maybe he's Van Gogh.
What area is this house?
It's in East Las Vegas. It's over off of Bonanza. It also, interestingly enough, in front of the garage, there is layers of bricks that looks like they are working towards bricking off the garage somehow, for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. This is either a very eccentric artist or someone with a severe mental health issue. So this
going number 2.
I will call this one number 2 a pro of HOAs.
I was going to say, this is definitely not in an HOA neighborhood because this would never fly.
Yes, it is not. So for this one, you might want to wish that you lived in an HOA if you are their neighbors. Could you imagine being the house next door and you're trying to sell it? This guy's bringing the
value way down.
Yes, it's definitely affecting the whole neighborhood. So number 3.
So this is the real life Simpson house.
Yes, here in Las Vegas.
So if you ever watch The Simpsons, which most of us grew up on watching The Simpsons, and it's still around today, we were actually just having a conversation about this, that this was actually a builder who intentionally made this house to look literally like a replica of the Simpson house. Everything's identical from the doorway arch to the bay window. Now the builder, this is right around the time that Simpson movie came out. And I guess the builders were like obsessed with the Simpsons as well. So they were like, let's do it, and we're gonna give it as a sweepstakes. So it actually was like this huge thing. It was in the news. They gave the house away in a sweepstakes that had to do with the Simpson movie.
Wow.
So the colors, everything's virtually identical.
Wow, that is amazing. And you were mentioning earlier today that it no longer is those colors. It's no longer the Simpson house. So this is something that has changed over the years.
So this was very temporary. So obviously the HOA was like, hey, you know, either way, we love the idea, but it's not something that can stay permanent for obvious reasons. Even though if I was a neighbor, I'd be like, you know what? It's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
It's
like
kind
a very nostalgic
literally
house.
Yeah, absolutely. And even the inside was done the same as well.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't just the outside. I actually read up on it. The inside was designed to replicate the Simpsons as well. And so this was changed in 2001, and now it's back to its normal self.
Wow,
Yeah.
pretty awesome. And number 4 in our Hall of Shame. This one, I don't know what to say except for literally as is. This house, actually, I came across this house because I, believe it or not, had a buyer that made an offer on it. This house was on the market at $780,000.
No.
And my buyer made an offer.
$7.80.
No, $780,000. My buyer made an offer at $650,000, and they rejected.
Stop.
Which I thought was generous.
Where is it?
This is over in like section 11, over off of like Decatur, Sahara area. So the interesting thing about this house is it was owner occupied, or at least that's what all the records stated. So this is the owner that has done this to the house, and
because usually this is the type of house you get when it's like vacant and hoarders,
squatters, renters,
yeah.
Someone destroys it. The fun thing I found about this house is this photo right here is the bathroom looks like it was turned into a kitchen of sorts. There's cooking pans. There's a little makeshift stove in the bathroom. There's some coffee mugs on the toilet. So that seems very sanitary.
You know, when I think I'm not so normal, I realize how absolutely normal I am.
Right. I mean, even when my buyer wanted this house just because of the location, where it was, everything, and even then I looked at the photos and I was like, are you sure? Like this looks like a nightmare. So
I mean, at that point, you're probably gutting a lot of the house and just doing a full remodel.
You know, there's some listings that I say have smell-o-vision, and there's sometimes that I can look at the photos and I could just smell what it probably smells like inside. You don't even need to visit it at that point. So this definitely makes it as one of those houses. And as is. This was an as-is sell. It actually expired. They didn't end up selling. They should have taken our offer. But,
maybe it was like a joke, like April Fool's.
I don't know what was going on, but they were firm on their price, and
clearly
they did not have a successful sell, unfortunately for them. And then we have our final one.
This is maybe my favorite. I think it goes in conjunction with the first house.
Yeah. Well, actually, before we get into that, there was another slide that was included in that last house that we had. I'm so sorry. I jumped ahead of myself here. The other one that was in those literally as-is photos was a couple photos of a home that was, you know, obviously very messy or dirty. And every room of that home had a cleaning supply staged in it. There was a mop in one room, there was a broom in one room, there was a vacuum in another. So I was like, I think they're trying to give you the vision of what it would look like if you cleaned.
Yeah, they're just not going to do it.
Yeah, they're just not going to do it. And then finally, this one's also located not too far from the Penis House, surprisingly
it's the same architect.
It's over on East Russell, and you can't have a Penis House without a booby house.
I totally agree.
Yeah, so the neighborhood has something going on over there. And this one, if you look at it from the satellite image, which is showing there on the screen, I mean, it definitely looks like this is a double dome house. And it just looks like a pair of boobs. I had the pleasure of touring this house when it was on the market.
I love it.
And it was very interesting. I mean, the dome style houses, I don't understand why someone would want to build a dome style home, yet I've seen it several times.
Is there something super beneficial to it?
They say that they have energy efficiency, more energy efficiency, because the dome helps the air, like the air circulation, circulate better than a square style home. So yeah, I get that. Durability, apparently, like through earthquakes and even like rain damage and stuff like that, just kind of falls off very easily. So they're considered to be a little more durable. Cost effectiveness. So if you're building on a budget, you might want to consider a dome home.
A dome home.
I just don't put two next to each other. That looks silly. It's a unique aesthetic. Obviously,
That it is.
Definitely get some people saying, wow, that's a, what is it when they say when you wear something, it's a conversation piece?
Oh,
that is your home will become a conversation piece.
Your home is a dome.
Yeah, your home is a dome. And it has a maximized interior space. Now, I dispute that comment because I have been inside this dome home and there was it had built-in bunk beds in certain rooms, and the bunk beds were had this dome ceiling wall, which I'm that would be so uncomfortable. You're heads hitting the ceiling. I don't see that as maximization.
I'm gonna pass on it, but maybe someone else will appreciate it for sure.
Yeah. I do think that this particular home, it was sold as a residential home for year over year, but its last sale, it was sold as a commercial property. So I believe that now it is a commercial property, but this was a residential home for quite some time.
Maybe they do mammograms there.
They should. I mean, going back to its roots, right? You know, it's gotta go what it was designed for.
Absolutely.
And again, in this case, I don't think that was their intention upon building it. But even, at the time that I had toured it, someone was interested in it because they thought it was cool. And I looked at the satellite view of the map and I was like, huh, that's interesting.
It is, for sure.
But there's something for everyone. So everybody has their thing. Guys, when we come back, we're going to tell you where to find us, how to get in touch with us, and where we're at next. Thank you.
Hey, Vegas. Are you ready to kickstart 2025 with a bang? The Composer's Room is your go-to destination for Las Vegas entertainment. Every day is a celebration here. From live music to comedy shows to magic acts, the Composer's Room has the entertainment with the Las Vegas vibe. If you are feeling lucky, then try your hand at one of our hot video poker machines. Who knows, you may hit the jackpot. Are you feeling thirsty? Our tavern serves the best drinks in Vegas. Whether you are a cocktail connoisseur or a beer buff, our bartenders got you covered. And let's not forget about the food. Our culinary delights are guaranteed to entertain your taste buds. And what's more, we've been voted best restaurant with live music. Come for the entertainment and stay for the food. Start celebrating 2025 in style at the Composer's Room. Our Vegas, our way.
Welcome back, Vegas. If you guys are shopping for real estate or looking to get a loan, get the process started, Courtney, how do people get in touch with you?
Absolutely. You can always reach me at 702-416-6918.
And you can reach me, 702-308-2878. Courtney handles the money. I handle the shopping. So we can get you taken care of there. And next week, if you're tuning into our show, please like, share, subscribe. Follow us on the Hey Vegas TV network. And next week, Courtney's going to be bringing you back the next 5 tips
Yes, absolutely.
of home buying and what to do to prepare to buy a home. I won't be with you guys next week. You'll be having Leah Silva, who is a returning guest on our show. Leah brings valuable information every time she's here. So you guys will have a fun show. And our link tree, if you want to send us any listener questions, we have a feedback form on our link tree at realtycheck.vegas. So go in there, shoot us a listener question, or follow us on any of our socials to give us feedback or just stay connected. Yeah. So thanks, guys, and we will see you, or Courtney will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.